All right. Well, the front's done mostly. I just got to torque down the wheels and skid plate, but that's pretty much it for the front for now. Rear we got to do, but I got to put my big jacks back there. Looking good. Now the A-arm's starting to sit good. Let's see. Nice angle on the axle, so that diff drop really helps that. Nice. All right, so we got another part. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here is our Trac bar. Adjustable. Cool. Awesome. Excited to see how this one goes. All right, so got a rear Trac bar. Adjustable, so this will be good. Now we're having some trouble getting the shock off. I'm about to take my Sawzall to it because I'm annoyed by it. So let's go ahead. All right, well, Sawzall time. We've bent this, it's not coming out, so it's time to cut. All right, so we got the rear shocks in, springs in. We went ahead and loosened up the end link for the sway bar, as well as, I believe that's the parking brake bracket, just so we could get some play for our springs. They went right in. Just put a little weight on them. I left the other side undone when I did the other side, or my current side. So or I left it tight. I left everything in place so that once I loosened everything up on this side, that side was still, the other side was still in holding itself up. So I had a little bit more play on this side, because once you take the shock off, there's a lot of, it just kind of slacks. So now we're gonna do the rear track bar here. And how we're gonna do that is, we got the stock one here, and there's our Dobinson. We're gonna put it up next to it. From what I have researched, every inch of lift is a 1/16 inch longer. So we're basically just gonna line up the bolts and then measure for 1/8 of an inch, which is 2 inches of lift, is which is what we added on ours. So let's do it. All right, so we're about to put the Panhard Bar on. I think this is gonna be passenger side top. This is gonna be driver side bottom. Could be wrong, but I would think that the adjustable nuts need to be higher, away from the ground. So I'm gonna install them that way. But let's do this. All right, guys, so we're done with the lift. Now we still have to delete the X-ray system and put on our skid plates. So let's do that. All right, so this is what is left of the X-ray system. Yeah. But now we gotta button up the rear end, and then still gotta do the skid plate. I'm actually debating on getting new tie rod ends for the steering rack, because mine were kind of worn or blown, not blown, but the rubber boot is leaking. They're not blown yet, but I know if I go get an alignment, I know the shop's gonna try and tell me to do that, and I'd rather replace them now before the alignment. That way I don't have to replace them later and then do another alignment. So, you know, especially since it's a pretty cheap part. So not quite done yet, but starting to come together. Can tell it's higher just because the rotors are lower than where they were before. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, so I'm just buttoning everything up. I ended up replacing the tie rod end on that side because the boot was busted on it and I didn't want to have to do the alignment over again. So now I'm actually rethreading the skid plate bolt holes. Not rethreading them, I'm just kind of running a die down them, or a tap down them, to make sure that the threads are clean, because initially when I started putting on the back one right here, the bolts were tightening down, and I think it's because of the short bolt holes, but I'm running a tap down them, and we'll see if that helps. I think it already has because I just did this one, and this one goes in smooth now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it on these two, and then because I'm gonna put spacers on these four bolts right here where the skid plate attaches. All right. Alright guys, so I ran and figured out what my sway bar bolt issue was. Bolt on the left, I haven't run a die down. The bolt on the right, this one, I have. But look at that. This one right here is like crazy gummed up. So I've been running a die down it. Having to do that, but I still think we're not going to run a front sway. So, all right, guys. Well, here she is. Got the hood popped. Don't mind that. Yeah, 3-inch up front, 2-inch rear on 265/70 17s. So we got to change that. But these tires got a little bit of life left in them, so I'm gonna drive them until they're done. Skid plate did not work out, so I'm either gonna have to get bigger spacers for the factory one, or I'm gonna have to go aftermarket with spacers. So we'll see. We're not running a sway bar right now, but clean up the threads of those bolts and they look good now. We've got to do an alignment, replace the tie rod, torque down all the bolts, but no clunks or anything yet, so we'll keep everybody updated. Thanks for watching. All right, guys. Well, here she is. Got the hood popped. Don't mind that. Yeah, 3-inch up front, 2-inch rear on 265/70 17s. So we gotta change that. But these tires got a little bit of life left in them.